When I think back on Christmas that year, I think back on that moment. I was working night shift in an ICU in Colorado on Christmas Eve. At this point, the details are a little fuzzy, but I just remember that the shift was so busy. Between the holiday skeleton crew and a couple of really busy admissions from the ED, we all had our hands full. Funny enough, I remember that we'd all brought in a dish for a potluck that we never got to have because nobody ended up having the time. Between juggling my own assignments and helping out of the nurses, it was almost shift change by the time I finally caught up. As I charted my eyes and nose, I glanced up to see one of my coworkers staring out the big window that faced the mountains. The first light of day was starting to shift the colors outside. Drawn in by the same view that she was, I walked over and stood beside her. Seconds later, another nurse walked over and joined us. I think it was the first time all shift that any of us had even realized that it was now Christmas morning. Taking in the quiet and the beauty of that moment was such a contrast from the chaos of the last 12 hours. The truth is, none of us were thrilled about working a holiday. None of us had it on our holiday plan bingo card for that year. Still, there was something so grounding about that moment, to be reminded that the world is still turning outside of the walls of the hospital. And in that moment, I felt proud. I felt connected to the importance and the deeper purpose of what I get to do as a clinician. And it reminded me that even on my toughest shifts, I am a part of something far greater than myself. I caught a flight home that afternoon to spend the rest of the holiday with my family. And to be honest, I couldn't tell you what we did, exactly who was there, or what I got that year. When I think back on Christmas that year, I think back on that moment, staring out a window at a sunrise.